Sure. Can you hear me? Good morning. Everybody ready? Okay. Good morning. I am Councilor Melody Cranford, and it is my honor to represent the citizens of the city of Muskogee, particularly those of Ward 3, who elected me to be their voice. I have called you all here collectively today to respond to the allegations many of your outlets received on last week while I was out of the state representing the city of Muskogee at National League of Cities. These allegations have been brought against me pertaining to my dual residency and voter registration, neither of which are true or factual. I do have documentation prepared from both the great states of Texas and Oklahoma to verify my voter activity, as well as proof of residency, vehicle registration, and other allegations that have been raised in the contest of my candidacy for re-election in the great city of Muskogee, Oklahoma. Copies of these documents have now been turned over to the election administration, the city attorney, city clerk, as well as to any other persons requiring them to determine my candidacy eligibility. I also have a copy of those for you all today. I would like to publicly thank those who have continued to show your support for me during this difficult time, not only as your leader, but as your friend. And I thank you all for being here today. To the citizens of Muskogee, as we navigate through this 2025-26 election cycle, I ask that you remember the great work that we have done to unify our city and build one Muskogee. As candidates, we may not all share the same views. However, each one of us has one thing in common, and that is our love for the city of Muskogee as well as for you. As your sitting council member, my responsibility is not just to represent you at the state and national level. It is also to restore trust in local democracy by showing how to govern justly and to lean respectfully into tension when issues arise. With that being said, as I run for re-election, you will continue to hear me say, we are all one Muskogee. Let's all do what is best for our great city and for our families. Thank you. I will now pass out any documentation that any of the news outlets would like and answer any questions.
I have a question.
From news outlets.
From news outlets only?
As you being from a constituent,
Okay.
let's have the news outlets at this time, and then as a constituent and also as a candidate, I will speak to you in just a minute. Any questions from news outlets?
Melanie, can you break down
Sure.
exactly what the accusation is against you?
Sure. So I moved here several years ago from the state of Texas. After I registered as a voter here in the state of Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Election Board sent documentation to the state of Texas. However, that slipped through the cracks, however that may have been. They did not take me off of their voter registration activity. When I applied for election before, candidates can contest your candidacy based on different things, and that was one of the things that was contested. However, it was nullified. During this election cycle, those same accusations have been made. Not against the law, first of all, let me say that. To be duly registered in a state, it is against the law to vote in two states in an election cycle, and I have proof of my voter activity for Texas and the state of Oklahoma to show that I have not done those things. Not, of course, we all know, against the law to have dual residency. One of the things that has been called into question is vehicle registration. I do own a car that has Texas tags that is actually registered to my ex-husband, part of my divorce decree. I'm not ashamed to say that. And my current vehicle that I now drive, that is my own personal vehicle registered to me in the state of Oklahoma. that I don't think some of these people knew about. And so they contested on grounds of the old vehicle. So those things should be squared away. And so it's just dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that everybody understands transparently what has taken place. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
What are your feelings towards these allegations and these claims as you are right now? I know that you said this has been a difficult time, but how are you feeling currently?
You know, I think it's part of our democratic process, right? Everybody has the right as a candidate to oppose other candidates. I think that one of the things that we have to learn from this is to seek first to understand, then to be understood. And so I get it. I get trying to figure out a way to contest a candidate. I think that one of the most hurtful things has been my service to this community because I'm active, very active, not just as a council person, but as a leader in the city and trying to make sure that our citizens understand that you lead by servanthood. And so that's probably like been the most hurtful thing, is that I am very vigilant and visible in the community. And for people to say and question my residency was the most hurtful thing of the whole process. But I'm feeling great because I'm up for re-election and we've got much work to do, and it will definitely be done. Any other questions? Okay, and sir, your question.
Are you familiar with Oklahoma statute, section 4-120.6, title 26, which states the following: the Secretary of each county election board shall cancel the registration of all registered voters who have registered in another county in Oklahoma or in another state upon receipt of notice of same.
Again, the registrar here sent those documents to the state of Texas, and that has been verified. Again, I can't help when states drop the ball. All I can do is operate in the integrity in which I should as a citizen. I did register to vote once I moved here to the great state of Oklahoma, and from there this was out of my hands, right? So of this moment, we have gone through the proper channels to make sure that both states are now on the same page. I've done my due diligence to do that. They are. I have that documentation here, and I will also give you a copy today to go along with your question. Yes, sir.
Yes, Ms. Cranford. Who makes that determination if you're eligible to vote? Is that the election board, or who is it that makes that determination that?
If I'm eligible to run?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, eligible to run. Who makes that determination, and have they done so?
So right now, it is a combination question to the election board as well as the city. They are making that determination. Again, all the documentation has been given to them. They don't see any issue because, again, I've done everything that I was supposed to do. And so therefore, as of right now, I'm running my election until told otherwise. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
When you registered to vote, when you registered for your candidacy, were you still duly registered in the great state?
Which is not against the law to be registered in 2 states. It is a crime to vote in both. And at this time, I'm going to take questions only from news outlets, and we'll end this. And my opponent, who is here today, can ask me any questions that he would like.
This is the law, sir.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So I have 2 questions.
All right, 2 questions.
One question is, do you feel like there could be any other motive behind why these claims are getting done, especially because too, I know that this is the 3rd cycle around
Yes.
that these claims have been kind of brought up, so do you feel like it could be anything else as well too?
I will say, anytime you do something like this, malevolence always could be a possibility, right? It could be out of spite because you've won and you defeated other people. That could be an option. However, I don't want to make allegations against those that, I have defeated. And so I also don't want to turn this into a bashing of opponents or discrediting opponents as my opponent is here to try to do. I want us to maintain the integrity of this election, and I want us to make sure that people vote based on record, based on work, based on integrity and ethic. What was your second question?
Kind of tied to both.
Okay.
Together, really just how are your feelings about this being the third time, cycle around that these claims are being brought up?
You know, and again, I say due diligence on it. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about making sure that when you move to a different location, you double check. You know, you don't think that you have to double check behind a municipality, and I'm not blaming either of the two. I'm just saying that as a citizen, right, as a citizen, not as a municipal leader, as a citizen, I've learned to double check. Any other questions? Nope. All right, with that being said, I thank you all for coming out today. Again, I wanted to do this so that everybody got the same equitable information and was able to pass it on to the citizens of the great city of Muskogee. We are doing great things, and I thank you, each and every one of you, for coming today and for your support. I will now pass out documentation that you can have for your news outlets.